Let's talk about the game that's happening tomorrow. This is, in the words of Jim Carrey, a spicy meatball. Love it. England and South Africa. That game is happening at St. Lucia. It's very interesting. England. What was another an hour of rain and they would have been back on the flight home.
Yeah.
And now they're suddenly favourites. It is absolutely bizarre how much. And I kept thinking, I said, it would just be laughably ironic if England was knocked out of the World Cup because of rain. It's the thing that troubles them all year. Yeah. They love talking about it. They're miserable because of it. And they would have been miserable as well. But no, it didn't happen. Eventually they qualified. But that scare was, there was that scare for a bit, wasn't there? That they may not qualify.
Definitely. Nonetheless, when Australia were chasing that total against Scotland, they would have thought two things. Either they're just genuinely going to get beaten or they're going to purposely get beaten. But none of that came into it. It was Australia got there. But no, England, that statement they made in their opening fixture this morning was strong. Salt looks unstoppable. If he can get through a power play, he looks like he's just intent on closing a match out, particularly chasing. Buttler was the support act in that regard, and Johnny Bairstow. We see often with his career, it just goes in peaks and troughs. But when he's on, he's a little maestro at work out there, and he was outstanding. So I think they suddenly are one of the favourites to get through. I suppose the winner of that game tomorrow night, it pretty much guarantees getting into a semi-final.
Yeah, fair point.
Really,
fair point, because they both won a game each.
Yeah, there we go. So someone goes to 4 points. I think I see that as a pretty much a guaranteed. Particularly if England win with that positive net run rate. If they have a win, go to 4 points and increase that net run rate up a bit, well, it's hard to see them not getting through to the semi.
So are you saying, let's build this game up, are you saying that tomorrow is a bit of a quarterfinal then? With the loser not getting eliminated?
That's the only thing that doesn't make it a quarterfinal. But it's a good point. There's a lot riding on it.
So it's a half quarterfinal.
All right.
So it's a 1/8.
A 1/8. Is that what it is?
Super 8s are half quarterfinals.
Oh, there you go. So it's the 8th playing the 1/8, which is 8 and 8 cancel. Now I'm giving you a calculus class. You don't even know. You don't know because I don't know what I'm talking about, but then I never do.
But England will actually enjoy this venue because this has been the highest run scoring venue of the tournament.
Yeah.
And it's going to suit their style of play.
Fair enough.
They want to go hard at the top, fill Salt. Or you look at that batting order, it's all about power. It's all about catching the game with the bat. And that is something which is going to maybe work in their favour. South Africa, even though they have a decent bowling lineup, they've still not been able to have that perfect game which we've been talking about.
Fair. Oh, they've been. We have to say that there's a saying I have on the Hindi show, which is "Latak latak ke metric pass." I don't know how to translate that for Adam Gilchrist, but it basically means that I kind of barely just cleared grade 10 after many attempts, in a way, like barely sort of scraped through. Yeah. But that's what's happened to South Africa, right? I mean, that one run with Nepal yesterday, there was times when you thought that, hang on, USA can get this chase done. So I think for South Africa, maybe that's the only thing. Besides that Sri Lanka victory where they were not in any trouble, everything else, they have kind of looked a little bit in trouble, and that team's better than those performances.
It is. You look down the list of players, right on cue, there it is. There's big names. When they have their starting 11, that in the yellow is what they started with in their last game. Interesting if they stay with Shamsi. There was a bit of turn. I think they will maintain him. But there's big name players there. They're marquee players at various franchises in the IPL that have all been sold for big prices. So they know how to have impact in games of cricket. They just haven't had the cohesive team effort yet. They've scrapped and fought and dug their nails in and somehow hung on. But, that's tournament play. They're one win away from being in a World Cup semi-final pretty much. So,
so it doesn't matter how you get the points, right? Whether you win by one run, it's a win.
Just get there.
Just get there. And the thing is, Zach, you make a good point that, of course, England it's the same surface, so England enjoys batting there. South Africa won't mind it as well because, I mean, they got runs from Quinny in the last game, Quinton de Kock after, a while, so they've got runs from him. Everybody else, you've got, Klaasen, Miller, Stubbs have been carrying form, Klaasen for the last 2 years, the others with some form as well. So their batting lineup won't mind these conditions as well.
They'll not mind, but they've not had the kind of tournament with the bat as they would have liked.
Fair, yeah.
So on a good pitch, you are expecting, England will be breathing easily. They'll be feeling, confident. This is our kind of a surface. Now, you look at the surface which they played today, India and Afghanistan game. If England is playing on this surface, they will lose too many wickets. So that is something which, just because you want to impose on the bowling, just because you want to go through with the shots, and you kind of have a template where you're saying T20 is played in this fashion, and you got to be attacking, aggressive, and take risk and play your shots. But these conditions where the ball is not coming onto the bat, you have to choose the right options.
Yeah.
You have to adapt. I think on slowish conditions, slow, sluggish pitches, they might struggle to cope with. South Africa, they've been struggling.
Yeah.
So that's something doesn't give you that much of confidence. But on a good pitch, I think England will have an upper hand because it'll suit their style of play.
Yeah, there's only one thing that I'd like to add to that. Actually England might do really well in today's pitch because it's Barbados. Because for half their team, that's a home ground. It is.
Yeah, sure.
Phil Salt went to school there.
Yeah.
Johnny Bairstow's father played a test.
Yeah.
Then there was Jofra Archer, Jordan.
Corin Pollard's on their coaching staff.
There you go.
Trinidad, but he's West Indian. So,
There you go. But Barbados itself. But it's a great point. And with St. Lucia. England playing this game 36 hours after they've played. I mean, think about it. That's a quick turnaround as well.
But they'll feel like that's their happy hunting ground now. As you say.
And they'll want to play quick. They'll be like,
absolutely. Yeah.
Start the next game immediately.
Have a day off, sitting on the beach, just enjoying it. Some good beaches there in St. Lucia too. I can vouch for that. But that was a very good chase. That looks like, they were in control all the way through. The pitch was a little bit potentially naggy, not as slow and maybe grippy as what we saw in tonight's game in Barbados, but no, they just dropped the hammer there, and now all of a sudden they're really confident and happy unit. And I tell you what, look out, Adil Rashid, he was, I reckon, the game changer in that game. So he played a huge part, the way he just took the life out of the West Indian batting innings through those middle, even towards the latter stages. He was excellent. So he's a player to watch for me.
Yeah, and then there was that one over where Phil Salt just launched into Romario Shepherd. 30 runs of that over, just pretty much just killed the game after that. There was a lot of Delhi Capitals fans who were looking at Romario Shepherd be hit and go, hang on, that's revenge for you hitting Andrek Nokia. That was way back, of course, in the IPL. So let's have a look at the England team as well. Doubt if they'll make any changes at all. Like, if it ain't broke, why fix it? And if it's going so smooth, don't mess with it at all. So they'll probably just go with that. All the all-rounders. They're not yellow, but all of them were in the 11, that centre column. Yeah. Oh, it's yellow. We don't see it yet. Is it?
Yeah,
of course, it's
on one of the screens.
Yellow.
Yeah, one of the screens I don't see a yellow.
Yeah, tinge of yellow there in the middle. But Livingston, it was interesting. Josh Buttler bowled Liam Livingston at a time in that
20 run over,
and it got hit for 3 sixes. And it could have been the 4th 6, but he got the wicket. And so spent a few dollars to buy the wicket. But all round, England put on a fine display.